Welcome all to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself, Dr. Rajneesh Sharma from BAMMC department. Today I am going to make a presentation on the topic literature review and statement of the problem under the paper uh, advertising and marketing research. So before I explain to you about literature review and statement of the problem, first of all we need to understand what exactly the research is all about. Research is basically defined as a broad systematic gathering of data and information and its analysis for advancement of knowledge in any subject. And research attempts to find out answer intellectual and practical questions through application of systematic methods. Now coming to the topic which we have, I have told you that about what literature review is about. It is literature review in fact is a basically a comprehensive summary of previous research on the topic which the researcher has undertaken. And the literature review surveys scholarly articles, books and other sources relevant to particular area of research. And the review should enumerate, describe, summarize, objectively evaluate and clarify this previous research. So if we have to say that what is the purpose of the literature review in any research being undertaken? The first purpose of the literature review is to find out the information, what information is already existing in the field of the research, and then to identify gaps in literature. And then the purpose of another purpose of literature review is to find other people working in the field of the research one researcher is working on, and then to identify major seminal works, as well as to identify major main methodologies and research techniques, identify to main ideas, conclusions and theories, and establish similarities and difference. And then it provides also a context for the research one has taken up, and it also shows the relationship between previous studies or theories. So literature review function as a tool, provide a background to the work by summarizing the previously published work, and to classify the research into different categories and demonstrate how the research in a particular area has changed over time by indicating historical background, early research findings in an area, as well as explaining recent development in an area, and to clarify areas of controversy and agreement between experts in the area, as well as identify dominant views, and to evaluate the previous research and identify gaps. That means that which are the unexplored areas, and to help justify your research by indicating how it is different from other works in the same area. And then, as we had discussed about that, the topic which is in relation with review of literature is the main, that is statement of the problem. So statement problem is basically overview of the issue or the problem existing in the concerned area selecting for the research. It's an explanation of the issues prevalent in a particular sector which drives the researcher to take interest in that field for an in-depth study and analysis so as to understand and solve them. So if we have to see that what is the purpose of writing statement of the problem in any research study, is to basically to introduce the significance of studying the particular topic or the any issue relevant to the reader, and it provides the information about the tools required and the way the study will present the required information. So then we have to see that what are the components of problem statement. In any problem, uh, the components of the statement has four main features. And what word count should it have? A problem statement, it should be in the range of 150 or 300 words. So the problem statement in any research therefore includes four important segments. First is background of the problem. Here the researcher reflects on facts related to the problem to make the reader understand about the gravity of the problem. Then anchor, how one needs to resolve this problem in the research paper. Number 3, journal problem, how it impacts a larger population. Number 4, specific problem, how it impacts a sample population. Example, background of the problem. The example for this first point is background of the problem. The high iteration rate, that means the exit out, or the employees who are working for that, they are leaving that organization, is creating anxiety and fear among the employees, and thus affecting the productivity of the organization as a whole. Here one need to refer to previous research done in the past in the manufacturing sector to determine the key reasons for high iteration rate. It should stimulate the reader to read further. And then the second point, that this must include a statistical value to magnify and elucidate the problem. Number third, and there the researcher can present the iteration percentage within the manufacturing industry and compare it with the case company. Then the third point is journal problem. The journal problem is to determine the financial loss to the organization, and then the journal problem needs to just outline the problem. Specific problem, since high iteration rate is affecting the overall productivity of the employees, it is in turn affecting the performance of the organization. In order to do so, one needs to determine the relationship between employee productivity and organizational performance. So in order to do so, one needs to determine the relationship uh, between employee productivity and organizational performance. I hope this can be understood that there are journal problem, background of the problem, anchor, and specific problem. So with this, in order to do so, that one needs to determine the relationship productivity and organizational performance. I hope that the literature review uh, and statement of the problems are being understood. What what literature review uh, and literature review and statement of the problem are integral part of any research, and they are very integral aspect of the research. So with this,